So I'm the founder of Aristo Music, and that company has its origins with the company owned by my family. We worked as a music consultancy that specialized, among other things, in fashion shows. Over time, we gained a lot of knowledge about the value and the perception of music, and the key factor for success was understanding that the choice of music always depends on the situation or the context that the listeners are in. As business grew, we found ourselves working with 35,000 CDs, which posed a number of practical problems. But it started me thinking about finding a way to play music in a total different but intuitive and effective way. Nowadays, we have a choice of more than 13 million songs on the internet, and that replaced a problem of scarcity by another one, abundance. And in fact, in our part of the world, we have the same abundance of choice with a lot of other things like media, fashion, food, and even guitars. But we wanted to help people finding music they want to listen to. And choosing once between a few LP records is completely different from finding your way in a collection of millions of songs. And therefore, we first have to consider three important elements of music experience: context orientation, subjectivity, and personalization. The choice of music always depends on the situation or the context of the listener. To suggest the right music for the right situation, a relatively small number of parameters can be used to describe the characteristics of a specific context. Think of this as parameters of music for jogging, relaxing, and reading. But there is also a high degree of subjectivity in music experience. To set up the right music for a specific atmosphere, the subjective metadata are often more important than the objective metadata. For example, if you want to organize a 70s party, the mood of a song is often more interesting than the release date. But no one can argue with you about taste and color. What right is for you is right for you. So listeners must have the ability to adjust the selection of music to their personal taste. And it requires a lot of different skills to develop a way to make the music selection process easier. So only an intense cooperation between scientists, engineers, psychologists, musicians, musicologists, DJs will bring a solution. And I will give you two examples. Music has different types of effect on people, cognitive, behavioral, psychological, etc. But music is so important because sound enters the brain via the central cortex. And that part of the brain is where your basic instinct lives. Increase the beats per minute and you will accelerate. But handling 13 million songs is not easy, so we also need an automatic framework to describe the different characteristics of a song. And this with the focus on the subjective nature of music by means of parameters like hardness, mood, danceability, party quality, and so on. And the next question is how we can offer all those parameters and metadata of music to people. And I will show you some different types of access to music that I call portals. The first portal is like stepping into an old-fashioned library where you can choose search for music based on some technical information. For example, I would like to have some guitar music, for me electric guitar. I want to have it a little bit harder, very high popularity, only from the 60s and the 70s, and for me only blues and rock. And yes, I get my AC/DC, Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath. Portal number two is more a community approach. It's like entering a public place where you meet like-minded people. Here we use names like Rock Cafe, Sports Arena, Chill Out Zone, and Blues Bar, for example, referring to a specific experience. For example, if you enter the virtual Chill Out Zone, you can play music from different types, from different collections of music, going from actual, best of, until groove, sensual, or relax, or a combination of them. But no matter what you choose, or how you personalize, the resulting playlist always fits the shell-out context. In Portal 3, we guide people through the music cloud based on a mix of emotions and moods. Here we use names as romantic, relax, stimulating, aggressive, and we refer to specific situations like a rainy day, shop till you drop. For example, if it is time to do a little spring cleaning, you will find some matching music in the stimulating moods. And then you can personalize it with songs from the late 70s until now, and with disco, dance, and pop, etc. And another easy way to find your music is context-based recommendation. For example, take one of your favorite rock songs, drag it to the party zone, and you will get back a party rock playlist. Take that same song, that same rock song, and drag it to romantic moments, and you will get something like we say, knuffelrock. Another thing is how we can build interfaces with all those music technology. And interesting here is that also the applications and the interfaces are context dependent. For example, this is an interface specific for the customers of the Supper Club, a chain of high-end lounge clubs. And those people also have the possibility to listen live in the virtual chill-out zone to music played in the Supper Club. It's like having a personal DJ at home, for example, when you have a dinner party at home. In the future, we also want to capture the context automatically. For example, a German car manufacturer wants to measure if the driver is falling into a sleep or is aggressive based on feedback from the motor management system. And they want to control it with music, taking into account your personal taste to avoid that you turn off the system. So context orientation, personalization, and subjectivity are the three key elements of music experience. Thank you.